Is Uruz a threat to CBum at the Classic Physique Olympia? How good is the best bodybuilder outside of the IFBB Pro League? Plus much more. What's up, Desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for another bodybuilding news video, and we're kicking this one off with an update from Horse MD. Marcelo, I believe his name is, and I don't have his full name right in front of me right now, but this is crazy. This is an extremely impressive physique update. His conditioning has come in a huge amount. Whether there's any filters on this or not, there's still those cuts there in the outer quad. The abs are looking so insanely dialed in. I struggle to believe that there's no sort of filter on this. But regardless, look, those striations and I suppose the intercostals, the obliques, the serratus have crazy deep lines through them. Whether they're that deep in person or not, I don't know. But he's looking extremely impressive. The quads are perfectly rounded and they still have those outer striations which look crazy. He's got great calves. He really has very few weaknesses to his physique, and his back was something that needed to come up, and it looks like it has by other updates as well. And for those who don't know, he's competing in 4 weeks time, and he's competing at Romania Muscle Fest, which is the one that Brett Wilkin actually competed in last year. And I'm not sure if that was the one that Baruz was in as well, but yeah, that's a great show, and I think that's a great spot to make his pro debut, because I believe it's his pro debut and also his open debut as well in terms of being a pro, but he never actually competed in Classic, and that was his plan. He was going to do a Classic show last year or a year prior. That didn't happen, so he's never actually done Classic, I don't believe, unless he did it in some early years before he actually turned pro, because he turned pro as a bodybuilder, not actually in Classic Physique, as many people do believe. Now, we've got an update here from a guy who's doing the Amateur Olympia in just 3.5 weeks time from now, and it's from Elliot Demond. I've dubbed this guy the best amateur in the world. There's actually someone else that came to my attention that was a great amateur as well, but this guy, like, look at the level of density through his chest for starters, and look at the wide reach of that chest too. It's absolutely crazy. The dude has huge arms. He looks like he's got very thick lats from the front. He falls down a little bit in the back double bicep, as I've mentioned in the past, but look at the quads, look at the calves. The dude really isn't missing much at all. The only thing that really needs to come up on his physique is his back, and he's really got the rest. So I think this guy can not only win his pro card, but I think he could step straight into a pro show and do well. So maybe he could even go on to compete in Romania if he does have those sorts of plans to travel internationally, because it'd be very cool to see him up against Horse MD just a week after the Amateur Olympia. And now we get into our Olympia updates, and this one here is from Justin Shire. And really, when Justin stands up front relaxed and does a front double bicep, he just looks crazy. He's got an insane shape, and it's really one of those shapes where you go, wow, this guy could go a long, long way once he continues to improve and add to, I suppose, his weaker parts of his physique. He's just absolutely crazy. But I went over to his YouTube channel and found this posing footage at the end of one of his videos. I highly encourage you guys to follow Justin on YouTube, and the link to this video is in the description below. But he's looking really good. I think this one's about 4 or 4.5 weeks out of the Olympia, so he's looking right on point. Very, very big, very, very full in these updates as well. And Justin is obviously a new pro. He hasn't competed many times at all. I've actually competed a ton more times than he has, and he's obviously at the level of going to the Mr. Olympia. So he's looking very, very good. He just needs to nail the conditioning, and obviously there's a few things he spoke about with that last show that he did where he actually did qualify for the Olympia. Whereas, like, you know, way too hot backstage, everyone was sweating, and doing your first pro show, that's got to be sort of intimidating. So I think he came back better at finals when he did it pre-judging, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how high Justin can place at the 2023 Mr. Olympia. Let me know where you think he'll place in the comments below. And now we've got an update from Nathan Diasha, and I would say this is Nathan Diasha's freakiest physique update, with like a full body physique update, not in the magic mirror out there in Kuwait, that I've probably ever seen. He looks super tight, super crazy, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Nathan Diasha does at the 2023 Mr. Olympia. And I found this on his story, I believe in the next post, and he says, huge news to announce very soon. Bet you didn't see this coming. So I'm looking forward to finding out what that is from Nathan De Asha. So stay tuned to Desktop Bodybuilding and I'll have all the news on that right here. Now onto a fellow UK bodybuilder that's doing that Olympia in Samson Dowda. He says 4 weeks, let's keep going. And no Photoshop from Samson Dowda in this one. Obviously it's a video, we don't see any of the walls moving or anything like that. That side leg is looking crazy and we can confirm obviously no Photoshop. So super impressed with this update here from Samson Dowda, and I can't imagine what he's going to weigh on stage, but I think it's going to be well in excess of 300 pounds and probably in better conditioning. And he's telling everyone to be quiet there, just like Hadi Choopan did. So I love it from Samson. He's obviously working really, really hard. I'll try to get him on for an interview sometime before the Olympia because I'd love to hear from him and I always love speaking to Samson. Now, another guy who I've actually just messaged to do an interview prior to the 2023 Mr. Olympia in Nick Walker with this crazy update. The level of muscularity, the arms and everything is just next level crazy. Nick sort of never seems to amaze me, and I sort of knew going into this Olympia, and I think I called it like a few months ago. I was saying that I'm sure in the lead up to this Olympia, he's going to look absolutely enormous. I have a feeling he's going to come in bigger. I have a feeling he's going to be in the top 3, even though I might not predict him in the top 3. I just have a feeling that's going to happen for Nick Walker because he's going to come in big. We know he's going to be in condition, and inevitably there's going to be guys that don't come in at their very best. So that's why I say Nick Walker potentially placing right up there at this year's Olympia and potentially winning it. And he believes that's what's going to happen. You see here on his story, ask away, and someone asks, are you going to be Mr. Olympia this year? And he says, yes, sir. Now we move to the classic physique, and we've got an update here from Urs Kalaczynski, who's obviously 4.5 weeks out actually in this video. This is courtesy of his YouTube channel. The link to the full video is in the description below. He's just looking crazy. Like, he added a lot of muscularity this year. I think he's going to be a lot better at this Olympia than last in terms of matching up with CBum, and he's got more room to move this year as well. And he got up to a crazy weight, and you can see the glutes are shredded already, and that's a week ago, so 4.5 weeks out of this Olympia. So he really has to probably be shredded to make the weight, although he does have more room to move this year. But overall, he's looking more balanced. The legs are better. Everything is better. The arms are still a little bit down on the rest of the physique. I'd say that's the one area that Urs probably needs to bring up. But in Classic, it doesn't seem to matter as much, and they still have come up. So Urs has improved everywhere. I think his physique now looks better. I think he looks more aesthetic now he's bigger. Overall, I think he's going to be much improved, and it's going to be a real battle there in the top 3 with not only CBum, who everyone always mentions, but Ramon Dino. He's obviously an outstanding competitor, and with more room to move for him, does he get even better? Very, very excited to see that. And Urs is out there right now with Brett, the Butcher Wilkin in Florida, and they seem to be training together. I don't know if Urs is staying with Brett or not. I've got to hit him up and ask him that. But best of luck to Urs Kalaczynski, because he is one of the top 3 contenders, or maybe one of the top 4 if you consider Terence Ruffin for that 2023 Classic Physique Olympia title. Now we have some footage here from a guy who I think is the best bodybuilder outside the IFBB Pro League today. His name is Bodabi Davo Dukuru. I think I pretty much hopefully nailed that name. I looked up how to pronounce some of those names and nothing came up apart from this guy's Instagram profile. And you can see this stage footage. He looks absolutely crazy. And it makes me wonder, if this guy was hopping on the Olympia stage this year, is he that level? Is he a top 10 Olympia level guy? How tall is he? I'm really intrigued to see how this guy would do if he moved into the IFBB Pro League. Now, he's competing in the Elite League right now, and you can see he's probably head and shoulders above the competition because those muscle bellies, they don't come around too often. He's got great cuts, so he's in great condition. He seems to have a pretty good level of muscularity, but how would he look standing next to these other guys and the top guys in the IFBB Pro League? Now, I saw this online. It's a comparison between him and Hadi Choopan, last year's Mr. Olympia champion. And sometimes we see these. We see people compared to CBum and everything, and you go, yeah, but if they stood side by side in the same lighting on the same day, you know, they're not going to look the same. But this guy has some great cuts. I love the definition. I love the freshness with his physique. And I think this guy could be a star in the IFBB Pro League. He probably is dominating the Elite League right now, and probably rightly so. And Yeah, I would love to see this guy, like a Mikael Krizo's come over to the IFBB Pro League, like an Andrew Jack has come over to the IFBB Pro League. We've got Next Zilla now coming over to the IFBB Pro League. We've got some great names that are making that move. They're reaching the top or close to the top of that elite league, and they want to go further, so they come into the IFBB Pro League, and a lot of them have been star successes. I mean, we've got, Krizo and Andrew Jack, who are pretty likely to be in the top 10 of the Olympia this year. Andrew Jack maybe even in the top 5 or higher. So very much looking forward to seeing this guy move into the IFBB Pro League and hopefully competing maybe at next year or the year after's Mr. Olympia competition. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. We're going to be putting out a ton more videos leading up to the 2023 Mr. Olympia. We're going to have all the coverage here and hopefully a lot of top name interviews as well. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. My name's Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.